Hi y'all, I'm Frankie, coming to you with 12 of this week's best-selling fiction books and what people are saying about them. First off, at number 1, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. In a quiet town on the North Carolina coast in 1969, a young woman who survived alone in the marsh becomes a murder suspect. Kirkus Reviews calls this piece of nature-infused romantic fiction charming, despite its implausibilities and monochromatic characterization, with Publishers Weekly describing it as an evocative debut with an unforgettable heroine. Number 2, we have The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, in which the lives of twin sisters who run away from a southern black community at age 16 intertwine, as one returns home and the other takes on a different racial identity. Kirkus Reviews and Publishers Weekly both gave this book starred reviews, with Kirkus calling it a rich, sharp story about the way identity is formed, comparing it to Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. Publishers Weekly called it impressive, saying that Bennett renders her characters and their struggles with great compassion and explores the complicated state of mind that Stella finds herself in while passing as white. Number 3 is 28 Summers by Ellen Hilderbrand, in which a relationship that started in 1993 between Mallory and Jake comes to light while Mallory is on her deathbed and Jake's wife runs for president. Kirkus gave this a starred review, saying that Hilderbrand gets everything right and sets the gold standard in escapist fiction. At number 4 we have The Guest List by Lucy Foley, in which a wedding between a TV star and a magazine publisher on an island off the coast of Ireland turns deadly. Publishers Weekly calls The Guest List an entertaining if uneven mystery, saying that the tension of the setup isn't quite matched by the reveals, though the nicely creepy setting compensates somewhat. Number 5, A Beautiful Foolish Endeavor by Hank Green. In this sequel to An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, mysterious books hint at what caused the untimely demise of April May, and the sudden disappearance of the robots known as the Carls. Publishers Weekly says this slow-moving and philosophically dense novel is best suited for Green's die-hard fans, and Kirkus Reviews describes it as a circuitous but satisfying sequel. Number 6, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. This prequel set during the 10th Hunger Games revolves around the adventures of young Coriolanus Snow, future president of Panem. Publishers Weekly called this a gripping mix of whipsaw plot twists and propulsive writing that make the story's complex issues vivid and personal. On the other hand, NPR's review called the book a lackluster, meandering parable and described Coriolanus' characterization as flat. At number 7, we have American Dirt by Janine Cummins, in which a bookseller flees Mexico for the United States with her son while pursued by the head of a drug cartel. Kirkus Reviews gave this a starred review, calling it a terrifying and tender novel, intensely suspenseful and deeply humane. However, the novel has faced criticism, with some Latinx authors calling it an example of cultural appropriation. Author and activist Miriam Gerba described it as a Trumpian fantasy of what Mexico is, and a noxious work masquerading as a piece of progressive literature. Number 8. Desolation Road by Christine Feehan. This is the 4th book in the Torpedo Inc. romance erotica series, in which a biker wants to know what a local librarian is hiding. It has a 4.1 star rating on Goodreads, although BookBinge gave it a disappointed 2-star review. Number 9, Sex and Vanity by Kevin Kwan. From the author of Crazy Rich Asians comes a nod to A Room with a View, in which Lucy Tang Churchill is torn between her waspy billionaire fiancé and a privileged hunk born in Hong Kong. Publishers Weekly calls it intoxicating, with plenty of catty and witty moments, and Kirkus Reviews commends Kwan as perhaps the only author who could pull off wealth porn in the current cultural moment. Number 10, Camino Wins by John Grisham. The line between fact and fiction becomes blurred when an author of thrillers is found dead after a hurricane hits Camino Island. Publishers Weekly describes the plot of this sequel to Grisham's 2017 novel Camino Island as intriguing and elaborate, while Kirkus says it is a pleasure for Grisham fans to read. Number 11, Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. An artist with a mysterious past and a disregard for the status quo upends a quiet town outside Cleveland. Kirkus and Publishers Weekly both gave this book starred reviews, with Kirkus calling it an incandescent portrait of suburbia, family, creativity, and consumerism, while Publishers Weekly describes this powerful and suspenseful novel about motherhood as intricate and captivating. Little Fires Everywhere was adapted into an 8-episode miniseries which premiered on Hulu in March of 2020. Finally, at number 12, The Summer House by James Patterson and Brandon Dubois, in which Jeremiah Cook, a veteran and former NYPD cop, investigates a mass murder near a lake in Georgia. James Patterson's notable works include the Alex Cross and Maximum Ride series, and he has teamed up once again with Brandon Dubois to bring us this standalone thriller, which has 4.3 stars on Goodreads.